Nancy, and welcome back to the channel. Hope that you're all doing well and you're enjoying your summer. You know, today I have something kind of short and sweet for you. You know, I love pizza. Pizza is always a great idea, especially when you're just kind of looking to do something kind of quick. I recently picked up these little flat breads from Aldi, kind of a naan bread, and you can do so many things with them. They're so versatile, and I want to bring you one idea that I had, and I just love this recipe. You know, it's kind of a juxtaposition between hot and cold, and man, you know, this is just, again, something you can kind of quickly pull together. And so I thought I would bring it to you, one of my favorites that I like to have every now and again. Again, flatbreads are just something easy you could do. And put your favorite ingredients on them, leftovers, you know, that maybe you had from the night before even. Such a great idea. The vehicle, the little bread, you could do anything you want. Just get creative with it. But here is one of my favorites. You ready? Let's go. Okay, let's talk about our ingredients. You're going to need a little bit of prosciutto. I also have some cheese here. This is mozzarella cheese. I am using some of my naan bread here. This is garlic naan, mini naan, and I picked that up from Aldi. If you're counting points, that's 5 points. I'm using my favorite jam. It's a fig jam. I picked this up at Whole Foods. Love it. So yummy. Tomatoes, our little mini tomatoes here. And we have a spinach and arugula combo. And I love using that on top of my flatbread, a little bit of Italian seasoning, ketchup. And we're also going to use fresh garlic, a little bit of cooking spray, and balsamic vinegar, and this garlic powder. And I'll show you how we add the rest of those ingredients in just a bit. So let's go ahead and chop these tomatoes or slice these tomatoes. Doesn't really matter. They're going to get cooked down into a sauce. So of course, when you're having pizza, for example, you want a tomato sauce. And you know, tomatoes, fresh tomatoes are great here because it just adds a little bit of texture. And the jam is going to allow me to have somewhat of a kind of a sweet and sour aspect to this flatbread. You know, it just kind of elevates our flatbread a little bit. So I love adding the fig jam. The fig jam I mentioned to you is my favorite. It's from Whole Foods. And, you know, again, fig is just kind of an elevated taste. And so I just really love it. So to my little pot here, I'm going to add some tomatoes along with a little cooking spray and that fig jam. And we're going to cook it down and make a sauce. And so I'm going to use my little presser. I don't know what the name of this tool is here, but we're going to flatten our tomatoes and create a sauce. And so just let this cook through, and I'll show you how this kind of comes together. So, you know, tomatoes are essentially a fruit. And so it works well when you combine the jam along with the tomatoes, considering, you know, they're both fruit. So, all right, fresh garlic, of course, garlic and pizza, you know, what a great combo. And it works well in this combination. All right, add those garlic. You want to make sure you cook those down a little bit. Fresh garlic and something like this, bite into a piece of fresh garlic, not bad, but it's you know, good that we're going to cook it down a little bit. Ketchup will just extend our sauce a little bit, and I did add a couple of tablespoons of water, by the way, to also kind of extend the sauce and give it kind of the consistency we want. Okay, garlic powder and Italian seasoning. And I always say add the seasonings that you want, the amount rather, because you're the cook, you know how you season your food, right? So half teaspoon is probably a good amount if you are really, into measuring, but you add the quantity that you want. Okay, so we have here tomatoes, fig jam, ketchup, our seasonings, and our fresh garlic. Again, I'm going to add a little water to kind of get the consistency that I want and cook this sauce down, and that'll be our sauce. And if we're counting points, the fig jam is about 4 points for that serving. It's probably a good 5 points a tablespoon. I didn't use quite a tablespoon, and we're going to spread it out over 2 servings. Here's our flatbread. We're going to throw it in the oven, get it warm for, about 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to toss it in the oven, get it warm, and preheated our oven to about 375. All right, so our flatbread is warm, and we're just going to add our sauce on top. And I'm going to go ahead and prepare for 2 servings, but I am going to only have 1, so I will show you what the finished product looks like for 1 serving. But all in all, this flatbread is going to come out to close to 10 points. With the cheese and the sauce, 9 or 10 points. So for a flatbread pizza, I think that's pretty good. I guess that pot was a little warm, so be careful. Don't be like me. Now, again, this sauce, I really love it because it's a little sweet, it's a little garlicky, it's a little tangy. And again, the fig just kind of, gives it this more refined kind of taste. And, when you're using the arugula and the prosciutto and the mozzarella, this is just, it's supposed to kind of evoke, somewhat of a fancy schmancy flatbread, right? And so I think it just kind of works in this preparation. All right, so let's start to build our flatbread here. Go ahead and we're going to add 1 slice of prosciutto per flatbread, and 1 slice is plenty. If you have a big meat eater, you could add another slice, but I find the 1 is plenty. And just add that on top of your sauce. I am using sheets of mozzarella, but if you have the shredded, that's fine, of course. And so I'm just kind of ripping it here. I used this for sandwiches, so I just kind of used it in this recipe. It's what I purchased, but of course, again, if you have the shredded mozzarella, you could use that. And the mozzarella works so well in this recipe. So I wouldn't use, like a cheddar or a blend of the cheddar and the mozzarella. I'd stick to the mozzarella here. Something like a mild white cheese would work really well in this recipe, so keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to sprinkle it here with a little bit of the Italian seasoning, and we're going to go ahead and pop it back in the oven, allow it to kind of warm over and let that cheese melt a bit. And there we go. Looks great. Love it. Our flatbread is a bit crusty on the bottom. It's toasted up somewhat. And that cheese is melted. The seasonings on top. So yummy. We know our sauce is warmed over. All right, now let's build it up. And we're adding the arugula and spinach on top. And I love the juxtaposition between the hot and cold. And then this is, such a great touch. This is a balsamic vinegar, and it's an aged balsamic vinegar, so it's somewhat thickened and kind of sweet and rich, and it just adds such a wonderful touch to this flatbread. And again, it works so well against that fig jam. And so it's, again, just somewhat of an elevated flatbread and just a treat to have for lunch for me. An individual little serving of a flatbread, and so great for that Aldi, those mini, breads that you could pick up there, those mini garlic naan breads. So a great idea for a lunch. I hope you pick them up and give them a try. Such a great preparation. And, you could do so many other things with them. Wasn't that easy? Just short and sweet. Something great that, takes you a few minutes to put together. And, I love that balsamic drizzle. It just really takes it over the top and makes it something special. And, I know sometimes that aged balsamic could be a little pricey, but if you buy it once and use it sparingly, you won't have to replace it that often. And again, it really does add something special. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today's video, short and sweet, and maybe it gave you some ideas for a flatbread that you want to put together for your friends and family or just for yourself. All right, until the next video, I hope that you're well. Take care, and I will see you on the next one. Subscribe and like the video. I never ask you, I forget to say that all the time. But subscribe and like the video. All right, take care, guys. Bye.